everybody. Good afternoon and welcome to Having a Laugh with Johnny. Well, we've got some nice guests today, but before we start, well, how's the week been this week? It's been a bit odd this week, hasn't it? And very hard work. And we've got Nigel in the background there working all the gubbins, all the switches and all that. Got some great guests today as well. Friend of mine, Patricia, afternoon, Christine. Friend of mine, Patricia, she lives up there in Derbyshire, and it's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Patricia. She'll be watching. She does actually all the Elvis tunes, all the Elvis songs she does. Fabulous young lady, great act. And I have to say, I watched TV yesterday and Katie Price was on with Harvey. And I have to say that, I mean, people go, oh, no, I'm not really, but I watched it yesterday, and you know what? It was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, people don't realise, you know, they say, oh, she's just a bit of a blonde bimbo, all this, and she's a page 3 girl. But it wasn't about her. It was about Harvey. And you know what? She loves that boy, and she would do anything for him. You know, hi, Richard. How are you, darling? Hope you're well, and the family. Anne, hello, Anne. 4:30. They got babysit. Oh, hello, Stuart. Stuart's on as well. Yeah, so hi, Andrew. We've got all the Steve Hackworth. They're all coming on now. Look, Derek, how are you, mate? Leslie Ann Parker. They're all coming on. Derek mentioned me in a comment. Lovely. Well done, Derek. Nice to see you, Derek. Hope you're watching the wrestling. Right, we've got a few guests coming on. We've got to... Now, let's have a look who we've got. Faye Ainley. Are you there, Faye? Come in, Faye.
Hi, Johnny.
She comes. Hello.
Hello. Are you all right?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. All
We've got
okay.
another guest coming. Wait there. We've got another guest. We can all talk then. Oh, we have a laugh. Mickey Zaney. Are you there, Mickey Zaney?
I'm here, Johnny. I'm here. How are you?
Hello, Mickey. Look at you. I mean, look at that. Is that the colour after grey? There? Is that...
You're only jealous, Johnny. You're only jealous, boy.
Have you seen the state of my barn? Look at the state of this.
Your hair is massive.
I know. Yeah, look. Hope you got the hair bit in. Because Mickey,
I'm very lucky, John.
What are you wearing glasses for? Why are you wearing glasses?
I have to wear them now because the wife found them in the back of the car.
Oh, really? Are you wearing the underwear as well?
She actually sat on my glasses the other night, John. I should have took them off.
That was quite nice for you, wasn't it?
It's Johnny.
So, hey. Mickey, how have you been, mate? How's things been going?
Like everybody else, Johnny, in the business, you know, it's tough for a lot of people, you know, lockdown. We've left the EU, but you can't leave the house.
No, I know. What's that behind you? Is that your map of where you've been?
Oh, that's my world. Yes, my world cruise. Yeah, I've been a few places over the years, Johnny boy.
Well, you have to tell us in a minute. Faye, hello,
Faye. Nowhere, no, John. Nowhere.
I don't get you too. So, Faye, what have you been up to during the lockdown?
What lockdown? Are we in lockdown 3? Is it 3 or 4? I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
This one.
Pardon?
This lockdown.
Yeah. I'm doing some shifts at the care home that I was working at before in the other lockdowns. So yeah, I'm just back there doing a few shifts. I was doing like activities with everybody, but this week I've been helping in the kitchen.
Oh, so you're a kitchen porter then. That's good that you're a kitchen porter.
I've never washed up so much.
Really?
Yeah.
How's Tom? Is he okay, Tom?
Tom is good. He's still working every day, teaching all the because kids are allowed to go to school if their parents are key workers or if they're vulnerable and they've got special needs or something. So he's still in every day teaching. But yeah, he's fine. He's recovering from all the running he did before Christmas.
How much did he raise?
So in total with gift aid, I can't remember exactly, but it was like £5,100 in the end.
Fantastic. That is absolutely, that's just incredible. Well done. That's just fantastic.
He smashed it. And if anybody who's watching donated, thank you very much from Tom.
Yeah. Faye, you go back in the cupboard and I'll speak to Mickey for a minute and we'll get you back in 2 minutes. Okay, darling? We'll see you in a minute. So, Mickey,
What?
we'll have a chat a bit later on, though. But you've
Yeah.
obviously had a fantastic career. You know, you've done it all. You've been everywhere.
Yeah, it's been good, John. I've loved it. I've loved every minute of it. It's it's been fab. I mean, they say don't look back, but I've got some great memories. I mean, what is there to look forward to at the moment? Not much
There
at the
isn't,
moment,
is there?
John. So you
No,
take a
it's
look
very
back,
good.
and I've done. I've had a great life in the business, you know, and love it.
What I'm going to do now, Mickey, I'm going to put you in the back in the cupboard, okay? And I'll come and talk to you. You've got to get
Like
that
a
cupboard.
ventriloquist dummy. By the
I'll
way,
speak to
Stevie
you in a
Hewlett
minute.
and Jimmy Tamley sent their love to you.
I know, stay. Jimmy Tamley, what a ventriloquist, and Steve Hewlett.
And
They're
we just had
just
a little bit of a
stars,
chat,
aren't they?
yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
I'll speak to you in a minute, Mickey. I'll speak to
Go
you
on,
in 2
mate.
minutes.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Yep. Love to Leslie. See you in a minute. Right, we're now going to bring Faye to do her little set. So Faye's going to do a few numbers. Are you there, Faye? Here we go. Here she comes. Here she comes, Faye. Here she comes. Well, she might be coming. She may not be coming. I might have to talk for a long time now. Everybody out there from Potters, I hope you're all well. Okay, yeah. So listen, I hope you're all well and doing lots of things, and it's all happening for you. The World Bowls was on. World Bowls. It was a great tournament. Our very own ambassador for Potters, the Potters ambassador, Greg Harlow, was in the final. What a match. I mean, Greg was hitting some fantastic shots, and it was brilliant. Just hitting shots, and it blew everybody away. And then suddenly Mark Dawes came in and just, bosh, and the man was on so much form. Greg was on form, but, you know, it's just a shame that you can't have two winners because Greg was fabulous, all the players. And, of course, Catherine Rednall was 7 months pregnant while she played, and she had 2 matches. She beat Alex Marshall. MBE. Can you believe that she beat Alex? And there was only a few shots in it. And then, because straight after that match, she had to play another match. And I think that was what did it. I think it really wore her out because I think she would have been in the final. I think she would have played Greg. But never know. I think when she's had her little baby in 3 months' time, 2 months' time, she'll probably go next year. Who knows? She may be in it. Let's go back to Mickey for a minute. Come back, Mickey. I'm always forgiven Mickey Zaney. Come back for a little while, mate.
I'll do the weather. Johnny, I'll do the weather.
Oh, yeah.
Is that there, the weather? Where is
I know
she
the weather. What's it like where you are? Has it been snowing?
No, we don't get it. We're lucky living here in silly Suffolk. It's been okay. In fact, I think it's I haven't been out today, but they say it's about 10 degrees, which is it's good. Weather's okay.
Well, I took the dogs out.
It's just been a long old 10 months, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it has been long, mate. It has been long.
I tried, John. I tried to get 1 or 2 little jobs just to keep, hand in. I went to my local post office to get some work there, and I only lasted 1 day, John, because
joking.
They used to play background music in the post office, and when the music stopped, I used to undo a parcel. I took a job on a building site.
Yeah.
I used to be in back in the day, and the bloke said it's 50 quid a day, a week, 50 quid a week, and after 6 months, it's 80 quid a day. And I said, I'll come back in 6 months.
I went to get a job, seriously, I went to get a job on a building site. And he said to me, he said, can you make tea? I said, I can make tea. He said, can you drive a fork truck? That big's the teapot. You said about that post office.
I had a job locally here from the council. I had 300 people under me. I used to cut the grass in the cemetery.
God. You said about that Christmas, that the parcels of thing. There was a little girl. She wrote to Santa Claus, you see, and she said, "My mummy lives on her own. We've got 7 children. You couldn't see your way for goodness like 20 quid." Anyway, so the guys at the post office, they opened it up like the sorting office, and all there between them was like 15 quid. So they put it in and sent it back to her. And then she opened it up as 15 quid. And she wrote back and said, "Dear Santa, thank you very much for the money. There was only 15 quid in it. I thought I asked you for 20. I think it was them thieving people at the post office. Took the fiver."
It's a lovely gag, that, John. It's a
Sure.
lovely
So, Nicky, you've been. I was, like you when you watch people. I was watching some blokes the other day digging. Oh, hang on. Hey, Mickey, get back in your cupboard. I'll see you in a minute. She's coming. We're ready. Right. Hello. Here we go. Here we go. Everybody.
I've been trying to do it right. I've been living a lonely life. I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. I've been sleeping in my bed. So show me, family, all the blood that I will bleed. I don't know where I belong. I don't know where I went wrong, but I will write a song. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. Hey, oh, I don't think you're right for him. Think of what it might have been if you took a bus to Chinatown. I've been standing on Canal and Bowery. She'll be standing next to me. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. And love, we need it now. Let's hope for some. And oh, we're bleeding out. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. I belong with you, you belong with me, you're my sweetheart. Hey, oh.
Wow. Well, Faye, absolutely brilliant. Wow. Wow. Hey, Derek enjoyed that as well. Hey, Faye, beautiful Faye. Samantha Bristol there. Leah Megan, such amazing, beautiful song, Faye. Oh, I had a rough day today for the stream. It helped me. Thank you for the show. I'm glad about that. Christine, just talented Faye. She is so talented. We have a bit of a technical problem, but where did you put your guitar down now? Faye, I'm having a difficulty hearing you.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear what I said? Anything I said before?
Yes, I did. Yeah, well, because they can't hear, but I heard it. Yeah. So listen, I could just about hear you. Can we get a bit more sound on Faye's? Anne Camplin, lovely song. Lots of people sound brilliant. So I know you said to me about we missed the first bit because we come in a bit late. So did you? You that's the first time you played a guitar live, isn't it?
Yeah, that was like my first little guitar debut. The only people who've heard.
Everybody's saying, look, Lorna Clark, that was good, Faye. Can you see the comments, Faye?
I can, thanks.
Yeah, no, that was honestly, you are
thing.
You are such a talented lady.
Thanks, Johnny. I've been practicing. I've been having lessons probably for about a year, but all the lockdowns have given me lots of time to practice. So, yeah, that was hopefully the first of many songs that I will learn.
Do you know what? It's funny, because I never forget when we were over in Cyprus. You did it, honestly, you did some fantastic sets over there with Johnny Cleveland and all that.
Oh,
we had great fun.
Yeah.
I think the best bit was, I think I may have told the people this, when you were having dinner one day. And
Johnny, you've told people this story many times.
Have I told them? And you put it all up.
The chocolate crepe story. You've told them.
I'll tell you what, Faye, we could go out on tour, couldn't we? Me, you, Mickey Zaney. Honestly, we could certainly
Johnny
do.
Cleveland, we'll get him out because I miss singing with Johnny.
Oh yeah, we could have some great fun. But so when you're at Potters, I mean, when they opened for the summer, you were there for the summer, obviously. What was your role there in the summer?
So in the summer, well, daytime entertainment still. So all the craft stuff, and then just all the activities that were going on during the day, as well as some singing and saxophone sets here and there. And then in the evening, it was, bingo. And then the variety show and Broadway and Beyond was on at some point in the week.
You were in Broadway and Beyond, yeah?
Yeah.
What songs did you have to sing on that one?
Oh, just all the musical songs you could think of. Well, Greatest Show was the last one. That was a good one. Honestly, loads. I can't even think of it off the top of my head. Dream Girl.
Was it nerve-wracking?
Pardon?
Was it nerve-wracking?
Yeah, really nerve-wracking.
I remember so people probably know, but you were in the little the Potters Theatre School, weren't you, for a while?
Yeah, quite a while ago. Yeah, when I was
that was 10 years ago when I first saw the Potters Theatre School.
Wasn't it?
Did you actually? Did you? I did a thing with the children where I had to sing a song. We love you, Santa Claus, with the kids, and I had to dress up as Santa Claus, and I did the song. Yes, we love old Santa Claus. I'm just getting somebody.
Johnny.
Faye, listen, I'll talk to you again in a minute. I'll just go. Let me just go. I'll teach you 5 minutes, okay, darling? And I'll think of Nigel. I know we can't get him on, but can we play the promo? And he's been trying to ring me. Can we play the promo who we're supposed to have on today? We've got a few technical hitches, everybody. I don't know whether it's the weather or all that, but we've got a little promo, and I will have this man on next week. And this is the promo, which.
Heaven and you and stars kissing a moonlit sky, the desert breeze.
Welcome to Las Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world and a mecca for all entertainers. Tonight, a very special show. From the Orleans showroom, Las Vegas, it's Laff in Vegas! Ladies and gentlemen, the unpredictable Bernie Clifton.
Oh no! Happy bees! I can't believe it! Hello! Ladies and gentlemen! Good evening! Tell me your name, please. Karen, where are you from?
Sidcup.
In Kent. I've come 5,000 miles to meet someone from Sidcup. Okay, Karen from Sidcup. He's picked you as his mate, Karen. What do you mean you've got a headache?
Well, there it was. It was supposed to be on today. Bernie Clifton. We're having a few technical problems. I don't know which end it's from, but we will get him on next week. Bernie can't connect, Johnny. Now I know. It's very sad, but what we'll do, we will have him on. It'll be a bit shorter show, but we can keep going. But see, I mean, look, Linda Matt, saying bless him. Honestly, I spoke to him today, and he's just full of life, and got lots of things to ask him as well. And a few stories about when I was a red cut of Butlins, when he used to come to Butlins. But what we're going to do, I'm going to bring back Mickey Zaney. Mickey Zaney, are you there, Mickey? Metal Mickey. Here he comes. Look,
Just having another gin, John.
Hello, mate. Oh, listen, cheers, Mick. Cheers. Yeah, lovely.
Cheers, mate. Oh, I'm different now. Oh, I'm there.
Mickey, sadly, we can't get Bernie on.
Ah, there you go. It's a long way in an ostrich.
Oh, no. It's a long way on an ostrich.
I
mean, Mickey, it's funny, isn't it?
He's a funny man. I've never met him, but I know that, funny man.
Yeah, very funny man. I'm right difficulty listening. I can't hardly hear you.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you turn your volume up, Mick, or not?
Hold on. Turn it up.
Anyway, turn it up just a bit.
No, I'm full up. I'm full up, John. Yeah, I'm full up.
Mickey, stay there. Tell him a joke, Mick, while I go and get a pair of earplugs. Tell him a joke, Mick. Tell him a joke.
Tell who a joke? There's nobody there. I've been, boys and girls, those that are listening, both of you, I have been keeping fit during lockdown. I do about 6 miles a day. Then I stop the car and run for 10 minutes. You're back. Good boy. Comedy.
I can hear you now.
There you go. Are you better?
Yeah. He's nice and loud. It's you, Johnny. No, I've got earbuds. I've got earplugs in there, Nigel. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear you, Mick. I was upset. I thought, I've got to hear this man talk.
It's because you're going deaf, John.
I know. I'm here. I can hear fine. Yeah, okay, then we know you can all hear fine. I ain't got hearing aids in.
Are you fit, John?
Fit, yeah, fit to drop. I've got a bloody hip problem. I've got arthritis in my hip.
Oh dear, Hip
I know.
replacement.
So, see, I'll lead you in again. So, Mickey, tell us all about yourself. I mean, you've finished a book, haven't you? You've just finished a book.
John, I finished my book in 2015. Did a second edition 19, but we were talking about some presentation stuff of history of comedy. I've been these last months of not been able to go out. I've been looking at comedy years gone by since the end of the 19th century, and I've been putting it all together, and I've spent it's coming together nicely. More daytime stuff on the ships when we get back on there, and it's great looking over, including Bernie Clifton. He's one of 100 comedians I've gone back to before this century, say, and I've enjoyed doing it. It's fun. There's so many interesting facts about these funny men. I've really enjoyed doing it, and that's kept me busy. And I've loved comedy all my life. I love every aspect of it,
And I know we're going to. It's harping on going back, but what was your first ever gig? Can you remember your first ever show?
You mean my first ever time on stage?
Yeah.
It was Pontins at Pakefield, not far from Potters.
Yep.
And it was back in the days, late 70s, very late 70s. Holiday camps, you could say holiday camp then, but you can't say it now. I know holiday centre. They were rife. People didn't go on ships then and abroad and whatever. My cousin Steve, he was the mainstay to get me up on stage. I said I couldn't do that, and we got up there and we did the talent show and came joined first at Pakefield back in the day, and that was where the comedy seed was sown, John. But my cousin Steve was a singer. He got us up. We did a bit of a double act. I did few gags with him, and we did. I remember I did Wisdom. I could always do Wisdom since I think I came into this world doing Norman Wisdom.
And you're the same.
and we finished with Whispering Grass, which had been a hit a few years earlier. We closed with that for impressions, and we did well. It was 12 people, and we came joint first, but it was never going to be a lifetime thing together. So we had a couple of years doing amateur shows. not getting paid, football clubs, social clubs in Ipswich. And it was great fun. And we were the best in our price range, John.
Really?
But that got me going. And I did a talent show at Hemsby on my own and went to Blackpool to the finals, a bit like BGT today. And I came third in that. And I didn't really have an act, but when I was about 12, 13, I used to get a book every week or a magazine, and I used to collect jokes and sketches and things. And I've still got this book now after all these years that I used to put into my book. And I always felt funny, but I never thought I could ever be a comic for a profession, John. But that was it. Talent shows around the local areas. And then I did one in near Ipswich, and that got me an agent. He won the competition with his group, and he set me off onto a semi-pro before I turned pro and went to Jersey in the early 80s.
Was that Barry Dye? Barry Dye?
Barry Dye didn't come in no, that was a fella called Johnny Walker. He was a right Jack the lad, but he gave me that chance and for 18 months. And then Barry took over 82, 83 and looked after me for many years then, because as you know, Johnny, in the 80s, everything was available. You did everything there was to do.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. Yeah, we had the good years. Years.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, today is good as well. Don't get me wrong. The comedy's changed for many reasons, but funny is funny, John. Funny is funny.
I mean, I remember Jersey. I can remember Jersey. I mean, we had some great fun. I mean, I was over there for a couple of years, and we used to go to the Monday Club, and I used to love that Monday Club because it was just. I used to I only went for the food.
I can see that.
Listen, I've lost half a stone. Half a stone in 3 weeks.
What do you remember what year you were? I don't remember seeing you in Jersey, did I?
Yeah, of course you did. You tried to shut me in this room, Paul.
Oh yeah, that's a photo cover.
At the hotel. You did. Did you push me in? I think you did push me in, didn't you?
What year would this be, John?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, probably. It was the year that I got an award from the Variety Club. You were at Caesar's Palace.
Well, at 88, I went to a Palace, but Jersey.
I was doing.
Were you doing a travelling show?
No, I was doing I was doing the Billy Forrest World Tour. Cocker Forest. Oh, he was Billy Forrest. For those that won't remember him, but he was a typical agent. He was like the Penguin from Batman. I loved him, but I went to his house in Sutton Coldfield before I went to Jersey, and because agents are funny people, aren't they? They you take 85% of their money. They don't like that, do they? No. But he did well by me. The first season in Jersey was 14 shows a week, 2 a night, 7 nights. And I turned pro and I loved it. I loved every second. All that work, loved it. And I fell in love with Jersey and went back. I love Jersey. Fantastic place. Beautiful.
But there's nothing there now. But when I went there to do my first season, there was like 10 static shows and 4 traveling shows and all the in-house entertainment. It was a great place to be, even before our time in the 60s and 70s. And Caesar's Palace was the icing on the cake for me, John. 88 to 92.
Did you ever do the Ocean View Hotel with the Italian guy who used to work that had managed it? It was where it was the Gestapo headquarters. Do you remember it?
Linda loves Jersey too.
I know. She's got a jumper as well.
We did many hotels in that first show. It was hard work. It was not hard. If you're enjoying something, I love how Pete said, hi, must be up for a drink when it's all over. Hi, Pete Loman. Remember Pete well? Yeah, good lad from Ipswich. If you love what you do with a passion, Heidi, hi, Mickey. Over the years, John, the last 30 odd years, 35 years, it's been so many different gigs. I remember in the 80s, John, we're talking about that now, is the nightclubs. I was lucky to be able to go into nightclubs and support Watford Baileys and Newmarket and Blazers and Lakeside, Talk of the North and Golden Garter, and Night Out in Birmingham, and work with really top names, which was great for the experience of walking on at 7:30 and half an hour and just doing stand-up. Remember in them days, John, I was a very visual prop act for the first 10 years of my career. and I had an exploding guitar, early 80s for about 10 years. Do you remember me coming on with the exploding guitar?
Yeah, I do. And I'll tell you who nicked it off you. Joe Pasquale took it.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see
No,
Joe.
Joe used to do that gang. I'll just tell you quickly.
Yeah.
And it was at Butlins. I took my son, Mitch, to Butlins for a weekend because he wanted to go away to Butlins. And Joe was the cabaret. So I went to see him before the show. And he just sort of cracked it, just made it, doing quite well. Anyway, he came on stage, he had this exploding guitar, and it exploded, and it set his trousers alight.
Yeah, that's funny. That's good. I didn't have to do that, but I don't know. I never see. That's okay, doesn't it? I mean, it's a lot of people have done things with guitar, but it was quite. I'll tell you what. We made the guitar fiberglass to everything. Explosion in the guitar. Press the button. The front comes off, and it was really very loud. And I had to stop doing it up early 90s because it was getting. I went to Jersey, and he wouldn't let me do it at Caesar's Palace because it was the opening to the act. It was quite a massive explosion sometimes, I remember I went to Gunton Hall, which is not far from you up there.
Yeah.
Do a showcase. I just started doing it, and the front came off, and instead of going just down that way, it came up and hit me between the side, between the eyes, and I've still got the scar there, blood coming out, and everybody fell about laughing like you are now, and we packed it with ice, and a story happened 3 years later. I was in an ITV telethon with Lee Evans. He was about to make it big time, and I should always remember this. And he fell on the floor to mess about, and the mic stand came onto his face, smashed him in the nose, blood everywhere. Everybody laughs again, and I said to him, "You want to keep that in the act? That is bloody funny. That is." Like the people do with my guitar. And I saw Lee year before last at his dad's funeral. Dave Evans, great act.
Oh, funny man.
Funny,
superstar.
great act. And we worked together a few times. And I said to him, going back to the incident with him at this ITV telethon in near Ipswich, and he remembered it. And he before he could even start it, he remembered everything in word for word. And I just wouldn't have thought he'd remembered that. But lots of funny things, accidents.
Lee used to come with his dad. I used to work with Dave quite a lot of the comedians like you did. And Lee used to come with his dad, and he grew into them ears. He was a lovely guy, and he always wanted to be a comic. He was like he's a bit like me, but twice as fast. And, Dave used to say, oh, he wants to be a comic. He wants to be. That's why he's come to see you, John. I said, I don't know why he's come to see me, Dave. And he said he likes to work. He likes to watch people, different styles,
Yeah.
And
but
Dave should have been a big star. Dave should have been a massive star.
Well, I think I think he was in his own right. I think everybody's a star in their own right. He did television. Going back to the 80s, he was on the Copycats and the Summertime Specials. I mean,
who do you do? Yeah.
Who do you do? I mean, this is what I've been writing about these last few months. Even variety shows back in the day with acts like Dave, and there's loads of them. There's so much talent. When we get to talk about ships, the talent I've seen on ships in the last 30 years who don't make it big time, it doesn't matter. They're top of the tree, talent. It doesn't matter. There's no room. There's not room for everybody to be on television or be a celebrity.
Somebody said to me once, my management company said to me once, I said, "Oh, I'd love to have made it." She said, "You have made it because you're still working."
Yeah.
She said, "You get a lot of these stars who earn X amount, like they become big on television, and then when they start to slip down the ladder, they don't want to take a cut in their money. They're sitting at home while you're still working. So you're a successful entertainer like you. I mean, you and I started probably the same time. I mean, I had left Butlins in 76. I was 77, sorry. And I had my first summer season, 79, at the South Parade Pier in Lowestoft.
Oh, yeah.
And that was the summer show there. And I just loved it. And then from then on, just every year, pantomimes. I mean, Mick, I've never seen you do a pantomime. Have you ever done a pantomime?
One.
Yeah?
Yes, I did it in end of 92, 93, Cambridge Corn Exchange. and Jeff Capes.
Yeah.
And the two main people from Home and Away at the time, Bruce Roberts and Dee Smart, I think if I'm right, they were the main characters. It was great fun. And after the first couple of nights, you bed in and, and you find your own way. I enjoyed it. It was very good. But for me, as my wife now says, I'm not good at scripted work. I like when I go on stage now, I have a million things up there, plan A, B, C, and D, and you're great to do your opening number, whatever. And I like to work, without a net sometimes. Not that I know the girl, but I mean, and just when you do ships now, you've got to have so much material because you've got discipline now is much more than back in the day. Ships you could have 1,000 people, John, in front of you, in the theatre, 8-piece behind your orchestra, and you don't want to. And it's hard to please everybody all the time, as we know. But you've got to be careful it's what you don't say nowadays on stage, that that gets you through. So you've got to have a lot of gags and a lot of observational comedy now. I mean, doing Cunard and P&O and the American ships, you've got the Americans as well. And people say, are they hard to do? No, not if you do the right material. No.
Somebody said to me, I did an American air base once. It was a mistake of a booking. It was in Woodbridge. You know, the American base in Woodbridge. Yeah. And I was on with the Platters, and they said to me, I said, what do I do? He said, just go out and do your act, but repeat yourself. I said, what? He went, just repeat yourself when you're doing a gag. And you talk 100 mile an hour, but repeat the gag. Just do a bit, then go back to it, do a bit, and then hit them with a punchline, because they will get. And you know what? I think I probably, out of 100% of laughter, I probably had about 70%, and it was really good. And I thought I'd love to do it again, but I did get up in the Comedy Store in California, in Beverly Hills, and did about 10 minutes, and that went okay. And because I used to do the Benny Hill, which is why I got a bad hip, and doing the Benny Hill, they loved it. They loved the Benny Hill, still on their feet, absolutely. Just ran around the room, because I asked the bloke for the music, ran around the room, did like woof. I mean, it was like being famous, and it was really like. But
to be fair, John, the reason why is because Benny Hill, he made it in America. He was very popular in America. If you on a ship now, if there's, I remember doing it's the year before last night because it's going so fast. Flying to America to pick up a leg of the cruise on. Queen Elizabeth, and it was not just Americans, it was like 35 different nationalities with some Brits. So those that didn't speak English wouldn't come in, but you've got to do a lot of visual stuff. But with Americans mainly, you can't do English jokes, English impressions. You can't do Norman Wisdom because they don't know who they are. So it depends how many Brits you got on. It's all a matter of, you've got to read your audience early on.
I did it when I was over in. Dave Evans was a master of trade. He was Johnny Cleveland. Yes, he was, mate. He was fantastic.
Well, he could sing. He could sing, do impressions, play instruments, and he was just an all-round one of the best. Right, great for ships. He was.
I love that thing. He used to put the tube to his mouth. Keep right on script. The old-fashioned 78 records. You remember that? He used to do that, and then he did Morecambe and Eric Morecambe. And I like to say about Americans. When I was over in the Middle East with Chaz and Dave, I did quite a lot over there, and we were doing a 16-day run. And the guy came up to me and said, "Oh, can you do me a favour? Can you come to a meeting this afternoon? But can you just do Benny Hill?" And I went, "What?" He said, "Can you just come and do Benny Hill?" So I said, he said, "We'll pay you." And it was quite good money. And he picked me up in his car, took me to the venue, and it was a round table do, in the Middle East. And I looked through the curtain, and it's all men, in their dish dashes, and it's about 300 men. So he turned around and said, "I'll play the music. When you get out there, just go, 'Good evening, viewers,' and then I'll play the music, run around the audience, come back straight through the curtain, off."
Is that
it? I did it. Yeah, I did. Went like that. I went, got to the mic, went like that. They stood up. They were shouting and whooping all this. And the guy said, "How come?" He said, "Because in this country, this was years ago, when Benny Hill comes on television, everything stops."
Oh,
He said they thought you were Benny Hill. They would think you're Benny Hill. I went, I don't.
Yeah.
He said, no, because you'd done that, and it was like, I think he paid me something like 300 quid, something really stupid like that was there.
robbed. You were
20
robbed.
minutes. Well, no, yeah, Benny Hill would have got a couple of grand, wouldn't he? So, Mickey, I mean, obviously, you got married as well, and the lovely Leslie, you got married, and she said, what a lovely lady. How does she put up with you, Mickey?
My wife now, you mean?
Yes.
She, her name is number 4.
Is it?
That's her name. She calls herself number 4 because I'm married into a wealthy divorced family. I'm divorced and she's wealthy. I've married 3 times, and I get my wedding suits from Next.
Oh, dear. I'm on my second one, Mickey. My second one now. But this is it now. This is it.
You know, I put that in the book. I put all in the book that we wrote. Back, I started writing it in 2005. The idea came because I was single, and I thought, you know, what's it all about? We've been going nearly 25 years, so we thought, yeah. So I had all these research and all my things written, photographs. I had all that, and when Leslie, when Leslie met Leslie, she came along and edited. It took 10 years to actually finish the book, and she edited for me and done it all because she's brilliant like that. She was operations manager at the Octagon Theatre in Bolton. My wife is from Manchester, so I had to get a second language to listen to her. You know, she's
translation.
Sure, Johnny.
Sure. It's raining. Raining.
Love of my life, John. You take all people say, "Oh, married 3 times." Yeah, but it's just if something don't work out, John, you know, you move on, don't you? And it didn't work out. I have to tell you something, John. In the 80s, as you know, there was so much work then in the 80s with the holiday clubs, cabaret, you know, and then I did a few TVs. When I joined Barry back in '83, I think it was, Shane came along, you know, Shane Ritchie with the agency, and we did some stuff together as a double act, and we took that to Jersey in '86 for a 6-week season in a show, and then in '87 one of my big highlights was we went to the Falkland Isles with a big show for 2 weeks on CSE, the troops, and that was a fantastic 2 weeks with Shane. We had some great laughs, and he's gone on to do wonderful things. God bless him.
Great, I mean, great in EastEnders. I think I saw him in one thing with Nigel Pack. You know, used to be Trig in Only Fools and Horses Sadly No Longer With Us.
Yeah.
And he did a TV with him. Oh, just incredible! But great. I mean, great actor. What I like about Shane is he plays. You know, a lot of these actors who go on EastEnders, they don't play themselves. I mean, Shane plays what you see on the TV screen as Alfie Moon. That is Shane Ritchie. You know what I mean?
Wasn't that the same with Mike Reed? He was himself. Pat.
Hey, it's Ricky.
Yeah. Great comic too. Yeah. I've been lucky to work with so many fantastic comics. And in the 80s, you get you're grained and you learn, and you do adult weekends at Butlins and Pontins, and you do adult, and you do hens, and you do stags, and you do whatever. You've got so much variety that you have to have so much material, and I learned so much. And come the 90s, and then we started cruising in '89 with P&O, and then you've got to the prop suddenly went, and you've got to work at it, because people think going on a cruise ship, oh, that's easy. They're on their holidays, and they're not. You know, you get into a theatre and they've got their formal suits on. They expect something a little bit more than what they see back in their social club at home, Johnny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did it. I did it for a few years.
You've cruised, haven't you?
Yeah. It's not my bag. I mean, I did ever so well when I first. Fred Olsen, when they first started, used to do week on, week off. Well, I think it was 2 weeks we went out for. 2 weeks onto it, and he used to sail from Tilbury, and I mean, I did like it. It was a good laugh, but in the end, I thought I got lonely. And I just didn't want to be. And of course, then I started getting things like Chaz and Dave, Joe Long. I mean, getting some nice stuff. You know what I mean? Working with Gary Wilmot. You know, so really, I didn't really want to go away. You know, I mean, I did all the flybacks. You've obviously done flybacks for Thompsons.
No.
You know, never done it.
No, I didn't do them. You talk about back. I don't cruise on my own now, but we're together most of the while, which is it's great because. But back in the day, yeah, you were on and off, on and off, on and off. But with Fred Olsen now, that you do the whole cruise, and they're a great company. They're smaller ships, so it's much more personal, much more. You know the age group, you know, and you know what to do. But P&O have been great, and Cunard did some American stuff. I had a great manager for them, Joe Martin, and her husband Johnny Martin, great comic. They're great.
I know Johnny really well.
Johnny's a great comic.
Yeah.
With the biggest ships, you work with lots of other acts because there's 3 rooms per night, and I've seen some fantastic acts, and you only learn. And then I write more than I ever did back in the day. I find that it's easy now to write. You would think I'll rest on my laurels. No, you got to keep writing, John. Got to keep writing. Got to keep mentally fit up there. You know.
I mean, you've also coming up to Potters. I mean, how many years did you do Potters for, Mickey? I mean, you would God.
Yeah, I suppose 20 years.
And yeah, I mean, I saw you. I must have seen you probably at Potters probably 50 times, and never once did you fail. I mean, just it
was mainly on the bowls. I think it was always the bowls on a Tuesday night. So it's more of a senior audience, you know, recycled teenagers. I love Potters. It was great, but must be 5 or 6 years now. But I'm cruising is the main thing for me because you get a theatre, 1,000 seats, 8-piece orchestra behind you, and there's nothing like it. And some of the people you work with now on ships, I mean, it's. I remember 3 or 4 years ago, I was on Oceania, and Stephen Hawking was in the audience, Professor Steve, and I didn't know, and I was selling DVDs then, and he came up with these 5 carers, and they bought a couple of DVDs, and there I am having a conversation with Stephen Hawking, obviously through his computer, and I just thought this is surreal, really. And then I worked with Catherine Jenkins on the Oriana 5 years ago. It's a long weekend, and the next cruise was Des O'Connor on Braemar, Fred Olsen, and the next was Aurora with Michael Ball. And you're thinking, you know, everybody wants to cruise now because that's where the theatres are, you know.
It's a great life, Mickey. You've had a fantastic career, and it's still going. And you know, long may you reign.
Only halfway, John. I just can't wait. I just get more passionate every day. You know, I can't wait to get back and add stuff. And there's nothing. You've either got it or I love it. It's an art form, John, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Let's bring Faye back, Mick. Let's bring Faye.
Okay.
Faye's still there. She's probably going to get Faye back on. I think she might have fell asleep.
Perhaps you're looking for
Faye. Here she comes.
Hiya.
Here she comes. Fair what?
Bernie Clifton.
No, we can't find him.
I'm not Bernie Clifton.
Get the ostrich. Get the. You know, I've changed, but does Bernie look different? Doesn't it?
Yeah, very good.
It's not a rabbit. What's this? What's this bit? It's not a rabbit.
I was holding the reins.
Oh right, okay, yeah, we believe you. So Faye, I mean, hopefully back at Potters very, very soon. And are you learning new songs apart from the guitar? Are you learning new songs and things?
Yeah. I'm always trying to pick up some new songs for sets. But yeah, I'm really trying to focus on the guitar at the minute because I've just got the one song at the minute, so I'm gonna up that hopefully for when we get back. But yeah, just generally having a practice of. Have you
ever seen Mickey? Have you ever seen Mickey work?
No, because she hasn't.
No, I mean, when were you at Potters?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was probably, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. So.
Oh well, I would have been there. But
there's a message on there, Faye. We will record Faye and play it tomorrow on Facebook. They are. So you'll be on Facebook tomorrow, Faye. So you're on 2 days in a row. I can't believe it.
I know.
Sue and I are back on Sunday. Sue and I are doing a kick up the 80s on Sunday.
Oh, sounds good.
And my lovely wife Sue, I hope you can join us on Facebook. We're coming to nearly the end of the show. I want to thank Faye. Thank you very much for coming on, darling. And that was a lovely tune you played on guitar and singing. It was lovely. It was lovely, wasn't it? It was lovely. And Mickey, what can I say? A very dear friend for many, many years. Came to our wedding. Can we get Nigel on? Nigel, can you come on the screen? Nigel might come on. Hopefully Nigel will come on. Oh. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here he I can just see him. Be Bernie Clifton. Oh, it's Bernie Clifton. Hello, Bernie. So, look. It's a puppet.
I've been in the business 40 years I've been in the business.
So, Nigel.
It's Spit the dog.
Spit. Oh, yeah, Bob Carroll, geez. There's a talented man.
I tell you what, fellas, I have enjoyed listening to you, but I've been doing it with one ear purely because I have been going through every one of my hard drives because I know I've got a picture of Mickey back in the day, probably one of the first times you were on the stage. So I'm going to keep you talking while I look for this picture. Faye, if you don't mind, we'll record your set and then we'll give it to Mike and he can play it on Facebook either tonight or tomorrow because I know we lost you at the start. We managed to get one. If you keep the same frock on.
Lovely.
Okay. So Mickey, when did you first see Johnny perform? What's your first memories of Johnny?
My first memory of John was down at Sussex Beach, Chichester. Sussex Beach. We did a showcase then. Spent most of my early life doing showcases and talent shows, I think. But
we all did that.
Do you remember being on I think Barry Dye had a load of acts, including Shane and Chris North and Simon Lavelle.
Yeah.
And we all went down there to do a showcase for the centres down that part of the world, and I think that was probably the first time I saw you.
Was he permed? Was it dark permy curled hair?
I think he looked the same as he is now, to be honest with you.
Oh my goodness.
Mickey, did we make him laugh, Mickey? Did we make him laugh?
I think so, John. I think
he's
so.
Still doing the same act. I have to say, though, you were talking about Billy Forrest. Billy Forrest was the guy that got me into Potters 35 years ago.
I like Billy. He was a great guy.
I only ever met him once. I paid him for 2 years, but I met him once.
Well, you're saying, Mickey, about he went back to his house before the start of the tour, and we went back there, and Maureen was his wife, and he had 2 dogs, and he used to have a room which was called the President's Suite or something. Was it something at President's Suite? As you went in the doors, a dining, a lounge, the Kennedy Suite. That was it, the Kennedy Suite. Anyway, he took us in this room, and he brought these sandwiches out, and he went, "Hey, son, have a sandwich. Have a sandwich." You know what? The reason his neck was like that was because he used to have a phone under it all the time. Anyway, we had these sandwiches. It was me, Tim Stockwell, and a girl called Donna Woodward and the band. And we just discussed the show. Mickey was the same with it. And he went, we ate the sandwich. He went, hey. He said, "Where's them sandwiches?" We said, we went, "We got another show coming in a minute."
You look like Quasimodo, Johnny. You look like Quasimodo then.
I tell you what. And he used to go to the phone and get 10-pence pieces all piled up to use he never used a mobile. He used to use his phone, and keep putting his 10p's in like this. But I've got to say, two great years I had with him. 2 fantastic years.
He got me. I've got to say something to you. The next season, he got me back at the Sunshine in Jersey in '85, late season, and I was with Mick Miller.
Oh, he's on next week, Mick.
I know he is. Yeah. Give him my love because he's we've worked together many times, and I started, then did 9 seasons in a row after that one with Mick. Great act, funny man, my favourite funny man.
I was going to say to you, Mickey, who would you say, and out of all the people you've worked with, who is your favourite funny man?
Difficult. I don't know. Nigel. I'd like Miller's up there. Just I have worked with so many. I mean, you mean famous ones or just our level? You mean?
Well, they always say don't be wary of meeting your heroes. There must have been heroes you met that lived up to it, like you said. They were exactly who they came across on stage.
Norman Wisdom wasn't a comedy stand-up. He was a comedy actor and a visual person. But I spent 2 weeks on the Fred Olsen Braemar Caribbean cruise with Norman Wisdom, and he sat on the front row every night to watch every show. And on the 4th, 5th night, I do my first show, and I closed my first show with Norman Wisdom, and he's sitting in front of me, my hero, and I'm thinking, God, make this the best Wisdom impression I'm ever going to do. And he came backstage after I'd done the act. He went, "You do me better than I do myself." So he was so full of humility. And we had, when he walked into a room, I walked towards him. We both do the same walk, and it was just one of those 2 weeks I shall never ever. Great man.
It's one of my greatest regrets in all my years was that he played Potters and I didn't go up and see it.
Oh God!
I don't know why.
But there's many funny men today and many funny men from the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years since we've been around.
Did you ever work with the great Bob Monkhouse?
The only one I didn't. I love Bob. He was the governor, and I watch him all the while when he's. Oh man, he just wrote some lovely stuff. You know, when he was 16, he'd go into the chemist, and you want to get a packet of what, and the young girl like Faye be serving behind the counter. So you went to ask for a packet, and he asked for a toothbrush. He ended up with 14 toothbrushes. He'd take the girls behind the bushes and clean their teeth.
Yeah.
And I do that, and I saw the documentary an audience with. He was funny. Freddie Starr, 1970 Royal Variety Performance. I can remember every bit of the 8 minutes he did.
Yeah,
Freddie Starr, funny man.
He did. That was the Mick Jagger one, wasn't it?
Mick Jagger, Billy Curry, Cliff Richard, Elvis. Funny man.
And any regrets? Anyone that you missed out on? Were you ever sort of offered a tour or a show that you didn't take?
No, lucky I met Lee Evans a couple of times. He's one of the funniest men that you'll ever want to see, and for the last 30, 40 years.
Do you take things from all of them? Because not many people realise you do write all your own stuff as well.
Well, we try and add things, and it's lines, it's observation now. I mean, I did the Manchester Comedy Store when I met Leslie, and up the creek in Greenwich, I've done a comedy store. Whatever the difference is, funny is funny. So Peter Kay's fantastic. Comedy is comedy. You've got to write your own stuff now because the competition.
But now it's political correctness gone mad. Whether it's the woke brigade or whether it is right that we should be more tolerant. Of different people's beliefs. There's a big push now with the Me Too movement and. Black Lives Matter and what we would get away with in the 70s and the 80s obviously is. Have you noticed that you've had to change your own act? I mean, I know Johnny hasn't. Johnny's still doing the stuff from the 70s, but have you had to change some of your own material?
Well, going on a ship now for some years now, Nigel, that most of the audiences, if you do let's face it, how many young people can, unless you're doing a big Royal Caribbean ship where there's 5,000 people and you can afford that, but to go on P&O, Cunard and Fred Olsen though, most of the audiences are probably over, 60, 55, 60. So then you can't, you've got to keep it squeaky clean. You can go near the line. You can be a little bit cheeky, depending on what sort of. Once you've got them, you can give a little bit of sauce, a little bit of cheeky, and that's okay. But racism and sexism and ageism and homophobia and transgender, no, you don't want to go down that road because you can have 995 people love you, and the other 5 people put in a complaint, and there you are. You could be off the ship forever. I mean, it's.
Does it make comedy hard though? Because in any comedy. And I say the same to you, Johnny. There's always a victim, isn't there? You always need to have a victim in comedy. The joke is always on someone, isn't it?
Well, they say that, but I don't think it's harder. No, I just think you've got to write stuff that doesn't upset anybody, and it makes you. It's good that you can do that. That's the main thing. You can do that. You can write stuff that's clean, and no worries.
I mean, I went to Potters because the reason being, I didn't really want to go and do these clubs anymore. Didn't want to do any tours anymore. I just thought I'd come to the end of the line with like Nigel said. My act is years old, and I'll admit it. I'm the world's worst for trying a new gear. I do try new bits. I try and reinvent myself, with different stuff I put in at Potters, like sketches and stuff, and Mrs. Brown and things. But I just think it's a young man's game now, But there's nothing out there for any young comics, So it's
one thing is, Nigel, now is that when you get on P&O, sometimes on Fred, but on P&O now, the big ships, the Azuras and the Ventura and the Britannia, they want a late show at 11:45 now, and they have a late lounge. So then you've got to be the other side. You've got to be a bit risque. If I do a late show, which I love doing, I don't swear and I'm not too smutty or whatever, but it's just going to the edge a bit more, bit edgy, bit, saucy, cheeky, and they love all that. You haven't got to be effing and blinding nowadays to be a blue comic, have you?
Have you been given word of when those ships are likely to set sail again?
No. I've got some contracts in the summer, but no, it's all about vaccination and it's all about other countries, and we just can't wait. Fred Olsen, waiting for them. P&O later. It's just, I don't know. We can't. It's a funny old time at the moment, Nigel. It's not any better than what it was 9 months ago.
Did you ever work on a ship that had Cirque du Soleil?
I did. Yes, is the answer, and it was the inauguration of the Anthem of the Seas, which must be, I don't know, I did the inauguration at Southampton, and the room they worked in is called the Cafe 270, one of the hardest rooms that anyone could ever work. John Martin, Jeff Stevenson did it, and the press night, which was the night before me, it was Alistair McGowan, the impressionist, and I saw him a few months later at Edinburgh. I've only been there once, and he was in the Bob Monk house. Simon Cartwright does an impression of Bob Monkhouse, and I'm going to speak to him. I said, "What did you think of the Cafe 270?" And he said, "I can't repeat what he said. It's one of the toughest rooms." And the next night was the circus, and there's plot plants that come out of the ceiling, and they come from everywhere. All these dancers, and it was unbelievable, fantastic. And this room is all the way around 360. You've got balconies, benches, gates, fences sitting behind you. It's the hardest room, Nigel. And I loved it because you get out there, oh God, it was funny. But
and all of those people now unemployed because it folded, I believe, last week, didn't it? Cirque du Soleil, another one of the victims.
What a show that was! We loved it. I went back a couple more times on the Anthem, and the bloke who the bald-headed fella looked like the bloke from whatever Rocky Horror Show. He loved the show, what I was doing, and you've got to be able to adapt different. People that don't speak English well, and also you can be visual and as well as being, PC.
Yeah.
Have you found the picture, Nigel?
I'm on my last 10 pictures, which is why I'm keeping you guys talking. So, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yes.
Who was your favourite comic you've worked with then? Who would you put at the top of your list?
Well, I used to do Butlins. I was compere, and I used to love, like Mickey, Bob Monkhouse. Because I used to sit in the dressing room and he used to tell us all these stories, and him and Dennis Goodwin used to sit behind the shed and get American an old transistor or radio, and he used to write the gags down from America. You'll know about this, Mickey, and Dennis Goodwin. And the other guy I used to like was Warren Mitchell, The Thoughts of Chairman Alf. He was just, and I obviously worked with him later because when I toured with Chaz and Dave, they used to say to me, on Saturday, such and such a date, and this Saturday, we'd be doing our pub, which was the new Pegasus at Stoughton. They changed it to the Chaz and Dave. And they used to sell out. It was like about 250 people, and it sold out every time you went. It was rammed, and Warren Mitchell was always top of the bill. So I did a 10-minute routine to begin. Chaz and Dave would go on, bring me on, I'd do 10 minutes. Then Chaz and Dave would do a 35-40, and I'd put Warren Mitchell on, and a miserable bugger, but he was a great act. But a funny man.
Guess what, gentlemen?
You got it.
I found it.
No,
Mickey, get ready.
I have just counted I have been through 4,700 photos in the last 40 minutes, and this one was in the last 100.
Is that a nice one, Nigel? Is that a nice one?
It's not Bernie Clifton, is it?
I'm gonna zoom in because it's and back in this day, obviously, then the cameras weren't that good on your phone.
I'm in the dark here. I've got no lights on. It's dark outside.
All right, let me zoom in a little bit before I bring it up so everyone can see it. Now, I think you'll remember this. Oh no, it's not the grey suit, Mickey. It's a silver jacket and black slacks. I'll bring it up and then I'll try and zoom in. You see why I'm zooming in? Okay, let me zoom. Hang on, let me zoom in. I can get a little bit. Can I get any closer? Oh yeah, I've got to use this one.
I'm wearing a tie. What am I doing wearing a tie?
I was saying though, you used to come out and your first line would be, "I've had my hair cut for a film, ladies and gentlemen."
And what the tag is?
I'm going to the pictures tomorrow.
What a great line that is.
Look at that suit. Look at that. You look Miami Vice.
Faye, come in, Faye. Have I changed much, Faye, since then?
No, I think you look exactly the same.
Thank you very much.
You'll
pay you the money when I see you.
Mickey, you haven't changed. You're funnier than ever. Johnny, I'm sorry we didn't get Bernie on. I have been texting him, but what you're saying, what, next week?
Yeah, get him on next week. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna let you sign off, Johnny. Mickey, great to see you again, my friend.
Mickey, thanks, Faye. Thank you, darling. Mickey. Bye-bye, Mickey. Bye-bye, Faye.
Bye, Johnny. How are you?
God bless. Love to Leslie.
See you soon.
Yeah, and you, mate. Take care.
Bye.
Well, everybody. Mickey's there. Hello, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. Sorry we didn't get Bernie on, but we will get him on hopefully next week. It's just the Gremlins. Bob was a genius. That's Ian Wall notebook. Yeah. Shame you can't bring my old gags. Never used it yet. Yeah. Good. Never took offence. That's the problem, Linda. Thanks, everybody. Listen. No, who's still very handsome, me or Mickey? Dashing now. Thank you, Nick, Nigel, Johnny. Stay safe. Yeah, there's a lot of things. It's so funny. Good memories. Do you know what? It's lovely to be on. And listen, everybody take care. I'll be back on Sunday on Facebook with Sue, and we're doing a show called Kick Up the 80s. So watch that. That's at 4:00 in the afternoon. 4:00, Kick Up the 80s. And then back again next Wednesday at 4:00 on Having a Laugh with Johnny. God bless you. Thanks, Nigel. Thank you very much. Everybody,